Welcome in, Wildcat fans, to this weekend's Bear Down Breakdown as Utah comes to town in a back-to-back series Friday and Saturday. Coach, looking back to last weekend, what are some of your takeaways from that ASU game?
I don't think there's a coach in the world who's ever really comfortable with the first game going in. I fully understand they dealt with the same challenges, and I thought they were better at the challenges than we were. A lot of turnovers, and then you break down the film. Well, why are we turning pucks over? We're not moving our feet. You can't play this game with your feet planted on and off the puck. And then at the end of the day, I told my team, going to a game like that, it's not often a team is going to win it. It's somebody who's going to lose it. And I thought we made more mistakes than they did. I thought they played more simple than we did. Obviously not happy with giving up 2 power play goals, and then you give up a shorty as well. That's going to swing any game, and it's tough to overcome that. So, in saying that, you like what you see. I mean, I see a ton of potential with this group. I really like this team. Really excited about what it can accomplish, but clearly, we've got some more work to do.
And looking at some of the new guys who did come into the lineup in that ASU game moving forward into this Utah series, saw a lot of Busby and Chioka on the back end getting some minutes. What did you see out of that pair that you did like?
Well, we've been looking for, a top 4 left-handed defenseman that could come in and complement what we do. And I was really happy with Busby's game. He does so many little things. He plays with bite. He's simple. He thinks the game really well. He makes a lot of small area plays that are quick. And for the way we're built, we want to get pucks advanced north and up to our forwards. And so I think he's only going to enhance that. He gives somebody that Chioka can work with, and somebody, Chioka, when he's building here, he should be a dominant defenseman in this league. And certainly there's flashes of it so far and more to grow, but we're excited about that pair. If it gets a little too jumpy, we'll have to reevaluate things. But from a starting point, I think we saw more positive than negative there. And anytime you can get chemistry early in the season, you don't want to give that away. At the end of the day, this team, they're pretty similar every year. I mean, they do a great job there with the coaching staff. We have a general idea of the things they like to run, what they don't like to run. We know 24 is going to be a buzzing around out there, and we need to be aware of them. And so there's some things we can prepare, but at the end of the day, it's not that bad to focus on us. There's a lot we need to clean up anyways. I'd rather focus on us right now. And at the end of the day, I think we do things the right way. We do things at a higher level. It shouldn't matter what they do. We can adjust. We're capable. We're all smart hockey players here. And that shouldn't be an issue. So for me, it's like these are division games. They're always a grind. These are very physical, gritty games against Utah. It's always been a difficult matchup. There's no such thing as a gimme game. Like, these games are going to come down to the wire, and those are the games we want to play in. So it's a great challenge for our group coming off of a tough loss against our rival to start the season. I'm very anxious, curious to see how we respond to that.
Moving into this weekend, obviously you mentioned the special teams, against ASU a little bit lacking. Are there any plans to change up lines, to juggle things a little bit? Or are you sticking with the system and seeing if you can get it working?
Yeah, we're definitely going to tweak things. I mean, it's too early to panic. One game of a sample size on top of a few practices is not enough. There's some things we can change. We will. There's things we need to do better. We will. This is a natural part of the process for me. The first 5, 6, 7 games, all I'm doing is saying, what do we need to get better at? And certainly special teams are one. I don't think the penalty kill was as bad as the outcome. It certainly wasn't great. It wasn't clean. There's things we can clean up, but you get a shot block, kicks out to Robinson, a D1 player who gets sent down. It kicks out to him, and he's going to put that puck where it belongs. I had another one where it was just under the bar. A good player like that's going to finish those opportunities. He knows how to get in those situations and how to finish. So you got to be careful not to say, well, we gave 2 penalty kill goals and the penalty kill, we're no good. There's things we want to be better, but you can't be too result oriented on your evaluation. It's got to be processed. The majority of it was good. They did a good job of exposing the things that weren't. Tip the cap to them, and certainly we look forward to seeing them 6 more times.
Wildcat hockey. There's an atmosphere to this game. The icy chill that hovers in the air. The rumble of dedicated fans against the glass. The sound of metal carving its path. Someone once said hockey was figure skating in a war zone. They weren't exactly wrong. There's an athletic tradition at the University of Arizona. One that isn't deterred by cacti or blistering heat. A tradition of hard work, perseverance, and preparation. A tradition of camaraderie end of school spirit. It grants us hope when times are hard and makes us strong so we can rise to our feet again. This tradition, it lives inside these players, and it lives inside their fans. So join us. We're ready to bear down. And something tells us you are too.
Welcome in, Wildcat fans, to the Tucson Arena. Sebastian Janik high above the ice in the booth solo for the moment. Might have former player Josh Lusby joining us up here. Glad to have you all with us for the broadcast as we get set to begin this weekend series. Utah versus U of A. U of A looking for a big bounce back game here after a very disappointing loss in the season home opener to state rivals ASU. Definitely a tough pill to swallow for everyone involved with Wildcat hockey. Losing to ASU home opener made it hurt a little bit more, but a chance here this weekend for some redemption. We'll be welcoming your Wildcats onto the ice here in just a few minutes. Some players to highlight on the Utah roster to look out for tonight. Number 24, Ethan Light. His brother Wyatt departed last season, so the only Light on the team now. Also number 5, Dylan Dix, a veteran defenseman on the back end for Utah. Don't know too much about Utah's recruiting class, though. This is Utah's first game of the season, so the Wildcats with a game under their belt. Utah getting their first taste of game pace action for the season. On the Wildcat side, players to highlight, obviously number 18, Jesse Lowell, the captain, always looking to make an impact. Had 1 goal last game, a number of good hits. Unfortunately for Jesse, a tough call in the first period, put him to the box. ASU was able to score on that power play, and that really felt like it changed the momentum of the game. But he did come back and score one of his own in the dying minutes to make it 4-2. Also, number 8, Brendan Williams, going to be skating on a line with Lowell and Hughes. Brendan Williams, an absolute superstar coming from the NAHL MVP of the playoffs last season, still looking to get his first goal. Another player to highlight, Tristan Swigger, who really made an impact coming in on last week's game, skating on that second line. So number 24, Tristan Swigger, got his first goal in the ACHA. It was great to see that. Him, Selman, and Myers on the line definitely had some chemistry, but a lot more offensive production going to be looked for from this Wildcat roster. This is the first time in a long time that Wildcat hockey has been built to play a more offensive style, much more goal-oriented instead of defensive shutdown tactics. But unfortunately for the U of A, they were not able to shut down the special teams of ASU last game. ASU scoring 2 on the power play and 1 on a shorthanded breakaway. But tonight in net, once again, Nicholas Sepinen getting his second start of the season, really looking to cement himself as the #1 goalie in Wildcat hockey. And luckily enough for us, you won't have to listen to only me this evening. So joining me in the booth, Josh Lusby, good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be back. Thanks for having me. Round 2 here.
Definitely makes the broadcast much more enjoyable for everyone, having someone besides me up in the booth, and especially a former player. So I wanted to ask your opinion. You know, you've been in that locker room, you know a number of these guys. How do you think they're going to be able to respond to that really tough home opener loss? I mean, not only do you lose the home opener, but to ASU.
I tell you what, practice this week was a little bit different. There was some competitive edge going on for sure. Guys were getting into it a little bit with each other, which is great. I think it's only going to raise the level of competition this week. I would expect a big response tonight. They did not like losing on home ice, especially to ASU last weekend for the home opener. So they're going to come out hard. I think this first period especially, you're going to see it.
And being at practice this week, there definitely was a level of intensity there that maybe wasn't quite there before. You know, how important is it to Coach Berman, you know, to see that effort in every single practice? He always talks about, you know, he's a process-oriented coach. It's not always the results that are most important. But do you think he saw a little bit more out of this group this week that he liked in terms of effort and compete level?
Yeah, I would say so. I think the biggest thing was that the talent on this roster this year was probably the best in the program history. And with that, I think guys got a little bit maybe comfortable with that first game of thinking, all right, we're going to roll through some teams pretty easily this year. And then you find out right away that it's a pretty decent league and teams don't want to lose. So especially ASU coming in rivalry weekend, to get a win here on U of A's ice was huge for ASU, and we'll see how the boys respond tonight.
And as your Wildcats take the ice with Nicholas Sepinen leading them out, just as Lusby said, a bit of a wake-up call last week against ASU. Maybe, you know, the U of A, they looked at their talent, they saw what this roster is built like this season, and like you said, just thought can play a little bit laid back, roll through a team, but ASU was incredibly opportunistic. 2 goals on the power play, 1 shorthanded. So the U of A, I'm not going to say they got, you know, completely outworked by ASU, but ASU was a grindy team, not quite as much skill on the roster. You know, obviously aside from Robinson dropping down from their D1 program, but it just felt like the U of A did get a bit outgrinded last week. So a big response here needed from the Wildcats. This first shift will set the tone, and let's get the starting lineups.
Starting at left wing, a senior from Northbrook, Illinois, number 18, Jesse Lowell. At right wing, a freshman from San Juan Capistrano, California, number 8, Brendan Williams. At center, a freshman from Montville, New Jersey, number 9, Justin Hughes. At left defense, a senior from West Dundee, Illinois, number 5, John Shivley. And at right defense, a senior from Anaheim Hills, California, number 6, Ryan Fisher. Starting in goal, a sophomore from Finland, number 30, Nicholas Sepinen. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask you to rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
What's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
As we get set here for puck drop Friday night at the Tucson Arena. Great to see so many fans out here to support U of A hockey. A lot of big things expected from this team this season. You know, I think one of the hardest parts of that ASU game was just seeing how many fans came out to support the crowd, you know, support the team. And that ASU win would have been great, but woulda, coulda, shoulda doesn't matter anymore. Time to go against Utah. And I believe last season, you guys, or it might have been Coose's last season here, but you know, I think you guys went on the road to Utah, maybe dropped one of those games, had a bit of a rough road trip up against Utah. So, is that correct?
Yeah, my junior year, so it would have been 2 years ago, we went up there opening weekend and got swept. And then last year, I think we split once we went to Utah. So we've had a tough time in Utah.
And Utah, you know, that's one thing about, you know, the WCHL, these conference games. Every team just keeps getting better every season. There really are no guaranteed wins. You can certainly never take a night off. And this Utah team, certainly with the Wildcats roster, should be a very beatable team in the weekend series. But we'll see what the Wildcats can do here to start off the shift. John Shively and Ryan Fisher getting a start on the back end as Nicholas Chioka is out sick tonight. So maybe a little bit more minutes for them. Busby is going to be paired with Overland. And this line getting some great offensive pressure to start off with Fisher from the point. Quick shot in on Grealish. So right away, shot first mentality from the point. And Williams going to go at it early there with Cole Music. So, you know, Williams obviously a player with a lot of expectations. You know, coming from the NAHL, you saw what he did with his point totals, MVP in the playoffs. But he's still, you know, trying to find that chemistry with Hughes and Lowell. Williams, an incredibly talented player, but as we've seen at every level of hockey, chemistry within a line is everything. Skill alone won't win you games. So Ryan Fisher here. Let's see, play gets blown down. It was played with a high stick. Utah let it go. And Hughes is, I didn't see what happened to Hughes behind the play.
I didn't see it either, no, but he doesn't look like he's comfortable right now, that's for sure.
So Justin Hughes, maybe quick turn behind the play and something went wrong. It's definitely looking like a lower body thing as he can't put any weight. So an incredibly tough way to start the game for the Wildcats. I didn't see any type of hit or anything behind the play, so we're gonna have to see what happened there. It might have just been a case of just a quick edge turn and something doesn't go right in terms of the lower body. That'll be a huge loss, the top line center for the Wildcats. So adjustments needed from Chad Berman right away in this game. So it's Selman out here on a line, looking like with Swigger and Josephson been promoted to that second line. We'll see what this trio can get done. So now Selman tries to go back to Josephson. Selman below the dots, pressured there. A quick play in, puck is still loose. Josephson just crashing the net. And a good job there as Langenbrunner was getting Selman off the puck. Now a quick dump in there. Hard off the boards, comes right out in front. Opposing teams seem to really like that play off the end boards that comes out to the front. Does the TCC have livelier boards than any other arenas?
It certainly does, yeah. And I think the warmth of this building, it's certainly warmer than a lot of buildings we play in. I think that's a big factor of it. The puck's usually a little bit warmer, bounces a little more. End boards are extremely lively here.
And some dangerous shots here from the point from Utah. Wildcats struggling to get it out of their zone, but Overland going to be able to skate that one out. A little bit of speed with Josephson. He'll get it in deep so the Wildcats can get a line change. Yeah, because I've seen that over the last couple seasons. Teams really like going off those end boards and puck can come out in front. Now a race between Hodgson and Schwab. Schwab able to win that. Utah working below the dots. A lot of pace here from Utah. So Utah absolutely wasting no time, getting plenty of their own chances as Gibney was able to come out from behind the net basically unchallenged, and Sepinen has to make a big early save.
And this is what Utah does. They're scrappy. They play well together. They don't have a bunch of guys that are individually going to light it up, but as a team, they know what they're doing, and they'll get pucks deep on defense and then just go start banging bodies.
So the Wildcats are going to have to learn how to adjust to that. Walker not able to catch it. Quick turn, does able to get it back though. Now Walker with some space. Walker gets it across. Myers just couldn't handle it. Maybe that's a play where you'd like to see Walker just fire that puck. He's got such a great wrist shot. And now there's a chance here for Gibney. He tries to center it. Good job by Hodgson to seal that off.
This is going to be a line that's really fun to watch for the U of A with Walker, Myers, and then Tyler Shetland. All three of those guys pass really well and see the ice well. I think at times maybe they'll make an extra pass, but they're also going to find a lot of wide open looks backdoor because of that.
So now quick over the line. They try to go to Ziegler. Ziegler picks it up. Quick shot. That doesn't get through. Able to pick it up, though. Tries to center it. Not able to connect there with Ari Rossi. So a couple very exciting lines. Going to see what happens with Hughes out, but now a quick shot there just goes wide on the far side. Rossi barrels in, able to keep possession. Stick knocked out of his hand, so Wildcats can't keep possession, but a good shift there. It's kind of hard to call that a third, fourth line. The Wildcats really don't have a dedicated kind of fourth grindy line this season. Every line filled with some skill. Obviously some skill, but more skill than in seasons past, where maybe that fourth line was really tasked with shutdown stuff, but now offense is going to be expected from those guys
yeah,
too.
absolutely. The fourth line, or the quote-unquote fourth line, I should say, has potential to throw 4 or 5 goals in a night if they want to. I think that's going to be the good thing for Coach Berman this year is one of his lines is going to be hot at all times, and it's just finding more ice time for those guys instead of feeling like you have to lean on the top line like you usually would.
So with Hughes going down the tunnel, Shetland's on this line now. Shetland and Williams just couldn't quite connect. So quite the physical comparison there. Shetland, Williams, and Lowell on a line together. Kind of looks like dad and 2 kids kind of shepherding
Dad and
things
his 2
around.
sons.
But Shetland and Williams both incredibly fast skaters, so that hopefully maybe some of that speed can open up some room for Lowell.
Yeah, and those two actually had the opportunity, Shetland and Williams did, to play together in practice a little bit this week, just doing some small area games and stuff, and they're both just so shifty and creative down there that they were a tough matchup for anybody.
So Lowell able to exert his will along the boards. Wildcats keep possession. Try to go up quickly to Williams. He'll get that down deep. So Music tries to go up the boards, picked off by Selman. Now Selman able to dance around defender, get it to Williams. Williams, they can't get him off the puck. Quick shot there. That was a high one, blocked down by Dylan Dix, and he's going to bring it back the other way. So now Slater coming in with it. Now Utah trying to work it down from below the goal line. Fisher without a stick here. So 4.5 on 5, but a good job there by Williams. He might be an offensive dynamo, but he is responsible off the puck as well. So Selman chasing in there, trying to apply the pressure, able to do so. And now it'll come up quickly there to land to Cusick, but turned over. Overland, dump it right back in on the goalie. Josephson trying to get the puck away from his man. Utah will bring it over the line. Land to Cusick, can't pick it up. So Overland will be happy to dump that off the boards. The stick is still out there. Maybe a little bit of an extra defensive barrier there for the U of A at their own blue line. Now Langenbrunner tries to get it low. Utah really looking for those plays behind the goal. It looks like shots from the point and behind the goal. Great little move there by Swigger. Tries to find Shetland. Almost able to find another player trailing. Quick shot there. Grealish with the save. And Tristan Swigger, really a player that's impressed so far. He had the first goal to open the season last week. And Swigger maybe, kind of lost a little bit, in the recruiting class with some of the other guys that were brought in, but Swigger has looked great so far.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he's maybe a little bit overshadowed just on a name basis with Williams and Hughes coming in as well. But he's going to be an extremely solid player for this team moving forward. One of those core depth guys that you need, that if he's on the second or third line, it's a mismatch for anybody.
And meeting him off the ice, such a sweet, nice guy, does not look like much of a tough, rough player. But last weekend, a couple big hits, couple little scraps. He's a tough guy to play against. Now,
yeah, he's another one of those guys, just kind of how we were talking about Hunter Hodgson last week, of off the ice, nice guy, calm guy, and then they get on the ice and they kind of switch the flip.
and that's what you want to see out of your guys. So Hodgson not able to keep control of that one. Comes out quickly to the point. Wildcats pressure Utah up at the point, trying to get that turnover going the other way. And Myers does a good job of pulling that one out of the traffic. Myers with a great reverse hit there. Now Walker, great little spin move. Deeks back again, trying to find us some space. That one extra move would have had him all alone, but good to see Dylan Walker being confident with those hands. So now the Wildcats do a good job breaking it out. Rossi with it, tries to get it in deep, takes a shoulder there. Big hit there by Dix on Ziegler, who did not have the puck, but the play goes on. Now a quick shot, Sepinen, great save there on Osterberger. Now the Wildcats with another chance to break it out. Possible 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Fisher joins the rush, looks middle, quick shot on Grealish. Puck was still loose. Grealish got a little bit comfortable there. Now a bit of a scrap behind the net. Only 2 Wildcats back there. But Fisher and Rossi. And speaking with Rossi before the season, he did say he models his game on Tom Wilson. So we'd love to see some of that Wilson-esque play out of him. He is another, guy that's come into this lineup, added a bit of sandpaper, added a bit of grit. He's hard to play against in the corners, and see how he can complement.
Yeah, he played an extremely physical game last weekend against ASU, and I think if they can get that out of him every night, they'd be happy with it.
So now Overland can't hold it in at the point. Possibly a little bit of room there, but Delaney not able to pick it up. And now Busby goes up the middle, can't quite connect with Rossi, but the icing will get waved off. Fresh skaters for the Wildcats. Malco in on the forecheck. So Utah is going to have to figure out their breakouts. They'll wind it up here as Osterberger with some speed down the far boards. Lowell able to cut off enough space to where he has to think twice about it. That's kind of the thing with Lowell when he posts up in that position. It's either try to go through him or around him, and around him is much preferable, I think, in terms of your own health and safety. So now Busby trying to get it down the boards, held in there, but now it's Williams. Dishes it back, try to wind up a little bit of speed here. Williams shadowed by 3 players, and we saw the same thing with ASU. A lot of people know Brendan Williams in terms of just how skilled he is, and he'll get shadowed all night by 2 or 3 guys, and hopefully that can open up some space for some other players. Good little move there by Kraft. Not able to keep possession. Fisher gets away with one, is able to get it up to Selman. He tries to feed it middle. That was red all the way there. But so far the Wildcats, but here comes Ethan Light. Definitely one of the most talented offensive players on this Utah roster. But Shively, a great shutdown defenseman, takes care of that. Swigger trying to get through 2 players, not able to. So Utah will try to wind it up once again. Good job there by Swigger to get a stick in the lane, break up the breakout attempt. Fisher, no icing on the play. Shadowed there by Landa Cusick. The Wildcats really looking for some of those stretch passes out the middle of the ice, especially with guys like with the speed of Shetland and Williams, but now Fisher head up. He takes a hard hit along the boards from Landa Cusick. Shetland, or Josephson, causing some problems there, and now Light gets up to Langenbrunner. He'll whip it all the way around. Landa Cusick tries to center one, but only 2 players in on the forecheck, but the Wildcats not able to get possession. Now Langenbrunner again, that one almost deflects off Landa Cusick into the net.
And this is Utah's game right here. They know they're not going to outscale the U of A, so they've got to get grindy, they got to get pucks deep, and then just start throwing it at the net. Lay the body when they can. You heard their bench get up on that one after they had a nice hit on Fisher.
And those are, obviously some of the harder teams to defend against when they're not looking for the cleanest shots, but it's just broken plays out in front. And Utah generated 3 or 4 right there, but now a chance for Will Josephson. Josephson over the line, quick shot into the Utah logo of Grealish. 10:42 left to go in the first period. All tied up at 0s here. Wildcats with a couple good opportunities. A little bit more of those, open space, cleaner shots. Grealich's been up to the task, and then Sepinen has had to fight off a lot of traffic in front so far. So Justin Hughes did go down the tunnel right at the beginning of the first. Not going to see him again tonight. Hopefully he's doing okay. Busby trying to pinch down. But now Utah, good little move there. Got to give some credit to the Utah skater there for staying on his skates. Quick shot, Sepinen has to block her that one, and that one comes right back into the slot.
There's those lively boards again.
They really are. I mean, nothing against the ACHA guys, but their wrist shots aren't quite up to the the par of some other, NHL, AHL level guys, and just seeing pucks fly off the boards that much. Now a great chance for Utah as they're able to skate right in on Sepinen, and I understand having faith in your goaltender, but letting guys skate in like that, Gibney just pretty much unguarded, unchecked coming in on Sepinen, a couple moves, but Sepinen, great job with positioning, not giving him much to shoot at there. So the Wildcats, maybe not quite the explosive start to the game we were hoping for, but there's still a lot of time for this team to show what they're worth over the course of this season. Getting that first goal for momentum is going to be huge here. It always is, but the Wildcats obviously a bit deflated coming off that loss to ASU. You do not want to give up the first goal here and feel like you're playing from behind on home ice once again.
But a tough challenge, too, to lose your first-line center in the first shift of the game to something that looks like, he might be down for quite a while. So it's a big response here from the U of A if they can get out of this period, either up a goal or within one.
So Fisher, he tries to get one through, blocked down there by Senegal. Now quick turnaround shot from Shively. Lowell working it on the near boards, goes down low to Williams. Shetland, and obviously with Hughes going down, that means one, Berman's gonna either have to double shift one guy or rotate things throughout.
Yeah, and you never want to see a guy get injured, but it's opportunity for other guys to step up, and then you might see some line combinations tonight that you would not have seen before, and you might find something that clicks.
Brody Selman and Tristan Swigger going to work on the body here on this shift, trying to get some energy and momentum going. Those lively boards again, but Sepinen was ready for it that time. He wasn't waiting for that puck to come out front, so good awareness there. Now Will Josephson with some space, some slick skating through the center of the ice, drops it back. Swigger, quick shot. That one saved by Grealish. So a great job there by Swigger to find some of the open space and get another shot on net.
And I think something, too, that helps the boards that we haven't talked about yet is a little bit later in the year, they'll get the advertisements on there. And those are kind of a plate that goes right over the top of the board, and it seems to deaden it quite a bit. So right now, with them being bare like that, they're pretty lively. But I think give it a couple weeks and get the advertisements back up, they'll deaden up a little bit.
Yeah, so since the Roadrunners haven't played their home opener yet, the ad is not on the board, so those shots are even livelier than usual, because usually they're coming off the, kind of the kick plate, the yellow part of the boards, but yeah, anything off the boards right now seems to be kicking back in front. So now Rossi tries to drop it back to Walker, just a little bit too tight of spaces, but Wildcats able to recover possession. Now Walker with his head up, finds a little bit of space for Myers. Myers tries to cut middle, almost gets there, but 3 Utah players in the way. Now a chance here for Light. Tries to go around Fisher. Almost able to get there, but Fisher stays right there with him. Quickly out in front, though, and a great save there on Kraft by Sepinen. So behind the net, back out into the slot, seems to be the formula. Now Walker fights through a check, but Dick's able to get a stick on it, break it up. Walker, Utah tries to take a run at him. He gets out of the way just enough. But now Light trying to go center again, gets a quick shot away. Would maybe like to see Busby take away the stick of the Utah player there. A quick shot from the slot. Now another one. That one comes from the point. Great job there by Sepinen. Overland. It's kind of like base outfield in baseball. No one calls for it. Both go for it. Luckily, no harm done. Now another quick shot. So Utah really generating the pressure here. And all those pucks that are going wide are coming back out in front. So now Lowell, he works through a man. Possible 2-on-1. Lowell waiting. Goes center. Overland, and it's in! Jarrett Overland joining the rush. Gets the first goal of the game for the Wildcats, and what effort and patience by the captain, Jesse Lowell.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal play by Jesse there. Maybe one that in years past he doesn't quite make. I think here you saw him, he looked like he was ready to take the shot, and then at the last second he picked his head up, kind of got who else was around him, found Overland back door, and he was able to put it in.
You could see the Utah players pointing back at Overland, trying to find the trailing man, but Overland able to find that space, gets just enough on it to elevate it over Grealish. So a great job there by the Wildcats to pick up the first goal of this game. And Jared Overland, who does have a good bit of offensive talent in the skill set.
Scored by number 14, Jarrett Overland. Assist to number 18, Jesse Lowell.
So Overland from Lowell with 7 minutes left to go in the first. Even though the Utah Utes have put on some pressure, great response. And I was giving it to Overland a little bit for maybe intercepting Seppinen's catch, but Overland obviously knows what he's doing more so than I do and gets a big goal there. And now Utah looking to respond. Great stick there by Fisher to break that up. Possibly sets up a 2-on-1. Shetland over to Malco. Malco, quick shot in on Grealish. Malco tries to barrel in. He's going to get it. It's definitely worth trying to score a goal, but obviously Malco, a seasoned player, knows probably going to get a couple extra shoves going in there. But Fisher with a great defensive play sends the Wildcats 3 up ice. Malco tried to wait out Grealish as long as he could, but a good shot there. I would much rather see that shot from Malco than an extra 2 or 3 passes, even though there is a lot of space. You know, Malco's got a great wrist shot. Good to see him take that shot there and get a face-off here, settle things down a little bit after the Wildcats score their first goal. And this is where the coaching job of Berman's going to get a bit more tricky as he tries to figure out who's going to center each line, who's going to be, what the lines are even going to be for the top 3. Losing Hughes really shakes things up, but Shetland not able to win that face-off. Overland gets it down deep. Usyk tries to go across. A little bit of panic there from Utah as they don't have much room to get out of the zone. And if the Wildcats can keep turning it over at center ice, we've seen how the speed of the Wildcats can catch Utah off guard. Nice little play there by Walker, kind of blindly just intercepts that with a skate. Usually we talk about his hands, but the feet aren't too bad either. Seppinen rings that around right to a Utah player, but Overland gets in the lane. Now Walker gets it down in deep. Picked up quickly though there by Utah as they look to break it out over the red line. Fisher doesn't quite read that one. Seppinen, good shot there as they're able to hold on to it. So Gibney, number 27 for Utah, definitely has had a number of opportunities, whether it's been coming out from behind the net or shots from the dot, but Seppinen has been up to the task so far.
Yeah, Utah's probably had more looks than Coach Berman would like right from inside the slot there with nobody on him. So good for Seppinen standing tall in there. He looks like he's confident, ready to go.
So now another face-off here in the U of A zone. Slater in to take the face-off. Quite see who that is there. Oh, it was Swigger. So Swigger able to win that one back. They do a quick play up the ice to Spring Williams. Grealish has to come out to play it. Williams not quite able to seal it off. Great hit there by Swigger.
And this is the line combination here with Lowell, Williams, and Swigger that you would not have seen tonight. It might be something though the Wildcats are interested in because Swigger's quite a good player.
Finding those 2 guys that you can plug in a third with has been Berman's motto all season. So with Hughes going down, trying to find that player that can complement Lowell and Williams the most. Swigger could maybe be it. Rossi, he quickly hops on the ice. Jackson can't quite get it out as Williams pressures him. A stick absolutely goes careening through the air. Ref's hands stay down. So now a chance here. Quick shot and Grealish up to the save. So Williams buzzing around down low. A little bit of discussion there between Lowell and Kraft. So that's the second time we've seen a stick absolutely just blasted out of a player's hands. And I'm happy with not seeing that called. You know, sometimes the guys just aren't, when they're not aware, they don't really have much pressure on their stick. You know, you're skating around in the zone with one hand on it. Sometimes you'll see that called instantaneously, but it's a matter of the player just not gripping it quite tight enough. Happy to see it stay 5-on-5. Ari Rossi in to take the face-off in the Utah zone.
Yeah, there's been a few plays tonight already that I've been looking at the ref to see if his arm's going up, and he seems pretty confident with keeping it down and trying to get the flow of this game going.
So now Rossi gets tied up in the ref skates, but Ziegler able to win it. Now a quick shot. That one just goes wide on the glove side of Grealish. Quick shot there from Rossi. Now the Wildcats setting the tone a little bit more. Ziegler takes a hard hit there from dueling number 22s. Now up at the point, they get it down low. Logan Jackson held in at the point by the U of A. Almost a tip chance there for Rossi. In practice, you see Rossi practicing those tip shots a good bit. So post up at the front of the net. Some pressure there from Osterberger, but the U of A able to get it down deep again. 4 minutes left to go. Utah's had some good chances, but they've had to do a lot of skating in terms of 200 feet. And that's going to be a penalty right there as Swigger gets taken down. But now Selman with a chance. Quick shot, saved by Grealish. Utah's going to get possession. So Swigger there tripped up. Player went to go make the hit. Swigger gets out of the way. Good to not see any knee-on-knee action there. And just as we're talking about the special teams, with 3:48 to go in the period, the Wildcats will go on the power play. Osterberger to the box for Utah. So now the Wildcats with a chance here. The power play was worked on a good bit in practice this week. Obviously the results not there against ASU last weekend. But obviously, you know, Hughes, top power play unit guy, taking him out. A little bit tougher to adjust, but the Wildcats here with plenty of talent, plenty of guys to roll out on the power play. So it's going to be Overland and Myers up at the point. Overland goes to Myers. Myers back to Overland. Selman, he tries to go middle, just couldn't quite pick it up. So now Shetland down below the dots with Dick shadowing him. Overland, down low to Myers, to Selman. Quick shot there, good save by Grealish. So the Wildcats don't want to keep this out to the perimeter too much. Bit of a problem last weekend, but Overland looking for a lane. Now Myers, back to Overland. Shetland, some puck movement here, but a little bit stagnant. Utah challenging things well. Now Selman trying to find Overland. Selman just can't get the pass away. Overland able to corral it though. Down low to Shetland. They're putting Rossi out in the middle, but someone's got to get him the puck. Selman tries to go cross ice. And a little bit of the same issues we saw against ASU, but Selman with a chance here. Quick shot, Grealish with a save. I think Rossi got a stick on that one.
This is another, just like something that the players know here at the TCC, the ice can get kind of rough towards the end of the period, faster than it does in other buildings. So getting a power play like this with 3 minutes left in the period, snapping that puck around and passing it can be tough. You saw a few pucks kind of flip up on guys or guys fan on passes. It's certainly a big factor.
Yeah, and talking with Tanner Harris about last weekend's game, he also mentioned the condition of the ice, and that's where trying to make those cross-seam passes are just not going to work, and it's just got to become a little bit more of a shot-first mentality when you can't rely on the ice to do what you think it's going to do. So now Utah not able to get it deep. 48 seconds left to go on the power play. Second unit out here for the Wildcats. So Lowell, Walker, and Williams, along with Swigger. So now Williams will wind it up. He'll look to go down the near boards, back to the middle. Unfortunately, Busby just could not knock that one down. So now Walker over the blue line, tries to go middle. Lowell able to pick it up. Holds out to Williams. They go over to Busby. Williams across the ice. Now Walker looking for a lane. Gets it down low. Quick shot there by Swigger. And that one bounced around on the way through. Had to have a good save there by Grealish. But Swigger able to find that open area, get a quick shot.
Yeah, really nice look there by Walker too to find him on the backside like that. I think this is one of those situations too with Hughes going down and him certainly being a power play guy. You've got units out there that haven't practiced together. That's not always a bad thing, because a lot of times on power plays, guys can get so into what they've practiced instead of just kind of reading and reacting to what's in front of them. Where you get 5 guys that haven't practiced it together, it becomes a little bit more athletic, a little bit more natural, and guys find seams.
Yeah, just a little bit more instinctive when you're not quite sure exactly what play to be running, but quick out there by Laurel for Utah. So the U of A not able to capitalize on that power play, still up 1-0 in this game. Some good opportunities, Grealish up to the task for Utah. So the U of A, this is a matter of keep doing what they're doing, minimizing those Utah entries into the zone, forcing them to play dump and chase hockey. The Wildcats have had the better of this game so far, not only on the scoreboard, but on the ice as well, which is not always the case. But Shively here, under a lot of pressure there, almost turns it over cleanly. Now Light with it. They go down low. Sepinen read that incredibly well to cut off the redirect from Kraft down low. So now a chance for Utah to try to recover with only a minute left in the period. They go up the middle to Slater. Slater with some speed, shot on Sepinen, able to fight that one off. Fisher put the pressure on, but Utah here, after killing that penalty, trying to reestablish themselves before they head off the ice for the intermission. So now Selman tries to chase down the puck. Lowell tries to just muscle that player off the puck, but Logan Jackson able to stay on his skates. Now maybe a chance for Selman. He gets stood up at the blue line. Good job there by Utah reading that play. So now Ethan Light, couple dangles, but can't get through Busby. 26 seconds left to go in the period. Landa Cusick now over to Light. No space, nowhere to go. Wildcats doing a good job, but Selman turns it over. Quick shot, and they score. So Langenbrunner for Utah with 16 seconds left to go in the period. Selman with a rare missed stick handle, and Langenbrunner all alone. So Utah able to get it back even going into this first intermission.
That's one of those plays right there that we were just talking about too, late in the period with the ice like this. You got to be sure, because it'll take a weird hop on you every once in a while, and you see Selman go to clear the zone on a pass and just kind of whiff on it. Got caught in the ice, or in the snow, I guess, and costly turnover.
Yeah, well, it certainly looked like a nothing play, but it's just pressure from Utah.
Landon Langenbrunner. Time of the goal, 19 minutes and 44 seconds of the first period. Again, Utah goal, number 15, Landon Langenbrunner, at 19:44 of the first period.
So Utah opportunistic, U of A with the better of the offensive play, but quick breakdown, quick shot, beat Sepinen high over the shoulder. Now Utah is going to look to get one more opportunity. Quick shot there. Sepinen has to fight that off, and it's loose out in front. He's able to find it in the traffic, though, with Mickle posted out in front of him. So Sepinen, the tough end of the period here from his eyes. Utah getting a lot of chances here in the last minute, and they made the most of it. A little bit of a ceremonial face-off here as the Wildcats try to figure out who exactly should be out there for the final second. I just get the biggest bodies and put them in front of Sepinen. They try to take a quick shot off the face-off, nothing going. So after a great early goal from the Wildcats, for Jared Overland able to convert on a play from Lowell, Utah in the final minute pours on the pressure and gets an evener of their own. Sebastian Janik with Josh Lusby. We will be back to bring you the second period in just a little bit. This is Wildcat Hockey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we announced last week at our game against ASU that we lost a very important member of Wildcat Hockey and our public address announcer, Joe Pirates. Joe Pirates is somebody that had been doing the public address announcing for the past 27 years with Arizona Hockey, and is someone that is going to be sorely missed, not only by the staff, but the fans here. It was heartbreaking to find out of his passing, and trying to get someone he knew for the PA, it sounded like a monumental task. It's something that Joe has been doing since many of us have started coming to games here, and he's been the true voice of Arizona Hockey for a long time. I'm certainly going to miss being able to just send him text messages on when to adjust scripts, and just his professionalism and being able to adjust on the fly. We're going to miss the goal calls. We're going to miss seeing him around. Joe Pirates had an incredible voice, but more importantly, he was an incredible person. He did the job for 27 years as a volunteer, and yeah, he gave everything that he had, and there's nothing possibly that we could ask for more of him. We're going to miss him dearly as we move into this next phase of Wildcat Hockey, and we're going to do everything we can to make him proud and just to honor his legacy as the voice of Wildcat Hockey.
Wild tied up with Utah at 1. The first goal of the game going to Jared Overland from Jesse Lowell. And then an unfortunate turnover in the U of A zone leads to a goal from Langenbrunner. So back in the booth is Josh Lusby for this period. And that's definitely something, obviously, as someone who hasn't skated on this ice, Lusby pointing out that towards the end of those periods when things get choppy, the Wildcats get a late power play, not able to convert, but then back down the other way. Selman just not able to corral a puck, and it gets buried by Langenbrunner. So the Wildcats here with not an easy test. There are no easy games, especially WCHL conference games. These two teams know what these points mean. So we'll see how the Wildcats come out in the second period after giving up that late goal in the first. But a lot of good things from this Wildcats team in that first period. Definitely felt like they had the majority of the control of the play throughout the course of that 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's always tough though, right at the end to give up a goal like that. You feel like you win 18, 19 minutes of the period and you go into the dressing room tied 1-1. So it'll be a big response here the first, I would say, 5 minutes or so of this period to see how the Wildcats come out and see if they can pop one in real quick and regain that lead.
Certainly Utah going into their locker room after that period, probably feeling like they got away with one, being able to go into their own locker room all tied up. But it's up to the Wildcats. You aren't playing yourself, you're playing your opponents. The Wildcats, and talking with Coach Berman, in the Bear Down Breakdown, he kind of basically said that the Wildcats more beat themselves last weekend, more so than ASU beat them. So the Wildcats have to make sure they don't repeat that. Only one penalty in the period on Utah, so we haven't seen a lot of the special teams. But with Justin Hughes going down early in that first period with what looks like a lower body injury, the lines have been shuffled and Berman trying to find the right combination. So Shetland back out with Williams and Lowell to start the period, with Shively and Fisher on the back end. It's looking like for Utah, it's going to be Music and Dix as the defensive pair. Ethan Light back out there to start the period for Utah, along with Kraft and Slater. So Kraft, Slater, and Light, as I find a way to drag out lineups for about 30 seconds, and now we will get set to go. Slater here to take the face-off against Shetland. Start of the second period. Family weekend here at the University of Arizona. Get to see a lot of parents of current players, former players. Great to see so many family members in town supporting UAZ Wildcat hockey. So the ref making sure with Grealish that everything's good to go in the Utah crease.
And a busy weekend too for Arizona Athletics, with hockey game obviously tonight, and then the basketball game has their inter-squad game, the red and blue game, and then football game tomorrow night, and another hockey game. So busy weekend around campus for sure.
A lot of competition for attention, and it's great to see so many fans coming out to support UAZ Wildcat hockey. We do know that you have a choice in U of A sports, and we thank you for choosing Wildcat hockey. So tomorrow night, football is on. Wildcats are also on. Not quite sure what's happening here. Whether it's an issue with the ice or an issue with the time clock that's set to 20.
My best guess is that the ice got a little bit wet in between periods there, and there's some spots that are kind of sticky right now, so they're just gonna let it dry for a little bit.
So everyone gets a little bit of extra time to stretch, relax. We get a little bit more time to be awkward up here in the booth, which is always fantastic.
While we have time, Brody Selman asked that I give a quick shout out to his brother Ryan, and then also his puppy dog Thor. So I got my shout out in for Brody there.
Let's hope Brody responds. He's a tough mental player. He's obviously going to be a bit frustrated with himself for that breakdown, but I'm sure he's raring to get back out here in the second and get one back. So now Shetland finally able to take this face off against Slater, and the Wildcats win it back to Sepinen. Interesting to see if the boards are any less lively on this end for the Wildcats, but Sepinen was very aware of that by the end of the period, seeing how much Utah wanted to go off the boards, hoping that puck came back out in front. But now Slater with some speed down the near boards, tries to drop it back to Light, but finds Kraft instead. Big hit there by Ethan Light on Tyler Shetland. So now the Wildcats looking to get it over the blue line, stopped up, but now Fisher head up, gets it across to Williams. Williams shoots, hits the crossbar. What a shot from Williams. Just missed there, but Fisher, great job to get up in the rush, create that scoring opportunity, and the crossbar said no there. So Lowell, he's getting into it along the boards there with Slater. Penalty is going to be called. We'll see if they're both going to go or if the Wildcats are going to be on the PK here. So it does look like it's going to be only Lowell going to the box. He's not going to be happy about that. So it's going to be a roughing call against Jesse Lowell here. Only less than 1 minute into the period. So the Wildcats will be short-handed. A little bit of an untypical play there from Jesse Lowell. I'm guessing he doesn't think he knows better than to engage if they aren't going to be matching, but refs decide to just take Lowell.
I think it looked to me like he made a nice hit there, and then he got kind of tied up with that player, and he went to push off and disengage, and they gave him for the extra push.
So now quick shot from the point. That one gets blocked and goes wide. Langenbrunner in behind the net in a battle with Ziegler. Utah's going to try to work it back out from behind the net. Good stick there from Busby to break that up, but they're able to hold it at the line. Delaney, Cosden all over him. Cosden with a good stick there. Not a lot of time for Utah, but they're trying to get something going. Circle it around, go back to the point. Quick shot there. That one's high and gets blocked down in traffic. Ziegler, though, looks stunned by that one. I guess they're calling offsides here.
I actually think they're blowing the whistle because Ziggy had a tough time getting off the ice there.
Okay, so good job there by the refs to keep an eye out. I think Ziegler might have took that on the hand.
I don't know. He was doubled over there. He certainly took it up high, that's for sure. But that's kind of one of those plays, too, that I talked about last week with Will Josephson and Connor Ziegler doing such a good job penalty killing. And that's just part of it. Ziggy does a great job there getting in a lane, blocks a shot, eats a puck. Never feels good, but I'm sure the boys will give him some support on the bench.
Ziegler, a hard-nosed player, always willing to pay the price. Landa Cusick not able to hold that in at the point. So they're going to have to wind it back up here, back to Delaney. On the far boards, Busby pressures his man, but Utah able to hold possession. Cosden doing a great job using his reach to make things difficult. So Utah working it on the near dots, back to the point. They look over to Langenbrunner. Pass does not quite connect. Cosden is just absolutely breaking up the flow of this penalty kill for the Wildcats. Now they get it over to Langenbrunner, the goal scorer. Quick shot there. Sepinen didn't look quite sure if he had that or not, but certainly did in the glove hand. Only 36 seconds left to go, and then a fully rested Jesse Lowell will be hopping out of that box.
Yeah, you mentioned Cosden there creating some chaos for Utah on their power play. He's such a big guy. He uses such a long stick that he just gets on you so quick. You feel like you have time and space with where he's at, and then that stick comes flying out of nowhere and knocks the puck away.
So Slater able to win that face-off there. Jackson with it, goes across to his D partner. They look for a quick shot. Sepinen with a save. That one got deflected. Great little poke there by Walker, but they can't get all the way out, stays with it. And now Brody Selman. Grelich comes all the way out to play it, rings it around and throws a little pick there on Selman. But a good job by Walker to fight through that play, get it all the way down. It's great when you can see your offensive players with some defensive acumen on the penalty kill, but now a chance for Slater. Rings it around to Light. Light worked on there by Fisher. And Lowell is going to come steaming out of the box. Utah's going to have to be aware of him. They try to get it towards the net. Sepinen can't get a glove on it, but there comes Lowell to clean it up. He's going to look to get some speed down the boards. There we go, 3-on-1 for the Wildcats. Selman across to Walker, back to Selman, saved by Grelich. And Walker again, selflessly turns down the opportunity to shoot. Grealish with some great lateral movement to get back across, but you can see the chaos Jesse Lowell creates when he's moving his feet fresh out of the box.
Well, not only that, I mean, he pokes the puck past the defender, and then even though he doesn't carry the puck up the ice, he breaks hard towards the net, and he makes the defender come with him. And then when Selman gives it to Walker, Walker's got Selman backdoor because Jesse created that lane.
Yeah, charging Jesse Lowell down the center of the ice will clear a lot of space. So a great opportunity there for the Wildcats. Good penalty kill, but now possible 2-on-1 here. Quick shot, goes wide on the glove side of Sepinen. Utah player tried to look off the shot, kind of looked it off a little bit too much, and now Lowell shadowed there by Jackson. Jackson able to pin Lowell in. Hodgson comes in support. Nowhere to go for Utah. Now Williams gets it over to Lowell. Not able to corral it, but pokes it all the way down. So now Gephardt tries to get it in deep, does. No icing on the play. Langus wraps it around to Hodgson. Comes out though to Gephardt. Now a chance, can the Wildcats spring Selman again? Just barely offsides. Some good awareness there by Selman to realize there was some open space. Tries to get the breakaway. The Wildcats certainly with the better pace so far with 15:59 left to go in the second period. So the Wildcats here with Thor cheering on Brody Selman, who's had a couple great opportunities so far this period. As I said, definitely a guy who's going to look to redeem himself after, I'm sure, what he considers a rough turnover on his end. So the Wildcats trying to pressure for that go-ahead goal after killing off the penalty. Grealish down behind the net.
And you know, Sebastian, every once in a while I hear you make a call on here who you think is going to score. And my call tonight's Brody Selman. I think after giving up that turnover in the first period, and just the way he works every day in practice, he wants it. And I think right now he wants it extra, and he might score on this shift.
Selman, one of the hardest working players I've ever seen at the rink. He's always there early. Now Selman with a crashing chance down low. Wildcats work it back up at the point. Selman in a tangle of players, but that one bounces back out. Utah gonna try to spring a 2-on-1. That's not gonna happen. Selman able to shut down the rush from about 180 feet away.
Yeah, that really worked out well in the Wildcats' favor. I don't think the head official there realized that Utah had a 2-on-1 going back the other way.
Well, either way, he was fed up with what was going on between Selman, trying to see who that is there for Utah. So Laurel and Selman got into it down low. Utah coming back the other way, and both are going to go for matching, I'm guessing, roughing penalties. So obviously the refs in the ACHA always trying to keep a lid on things, not let things get out of hand, trying to protect players. And right there, it worked out pretty well in favor for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I can't imagine the coaching staff of Utah is too happy with that call. I know if it went the other way, Coach Berman certainly wouldn't be too quiet on his bench about it, but it's one of those things. It just happens, and you got to play on.
Yeah, if there's one thing I've learned from calling these games over the last couple of years is that you certainly never blame the stripes for the way a game goes, because most likely both teams are going to have issue with the stripes at the end of it. So you just accept your reality and move
Utah
on.
penalty
So
to
some
number
4-on-4
26,
hockey
Jake
here.
Laurel. Wildcat penalty to number 20, Brody Selman. 2 minutes each for roughing. Time of the penalties, 4 minutes and 40 seconds into the second period.
Myers with a great move.
Utah
He
penalty,
gets
number
tripped up at the
26,
line,
Jake
no
Laurel.
penalty
And
call.
Wildcat penalty to number
But
20,
Myers,
Brody Selman.
great
2
burst
minutes
of
each for
speed.
roughing. Time of the penalties, 4 minutes and 40
Wildcats
seconds in
working
the second period.
around. Fisher and Shively working it up high. Circles there with Myers.
This combination here, Myers and Walker on this 4-on-4 is going to be something fun to watch for sure. Both those guys are so crafty and creative. And then you take two players off the ice, it opens up space so much for them.
Especially, I'm guessing Williams will be hopping over the boards next for the Wildcats. Maybe with Lowell with a good escape move there. Create some space by Shively as they get it across. Fisher back to Myers. Myers tries to drag it around his man for a shot. Comes back the other way. Hodgson not able to get a stick on that. But a great steal there by Walker as Williams gets in. Deke shot tries to go behind the blocker of Grealish, but Williams, great chance there. Now Walker will look to set it up after creating the offense off the defensive play. Hodgson trying to work it there against Landa Cusick. Light takes a hit there from Hodgson. 34 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4. That one just kind of oddly knocked down low by Logan Jackson. Hodgson not able to get it past his man. Timeout in front. Quick shot there by Landon Cusick. A lot of time and space. And now Williams will look to wind it up. Brendan Williams goes back to Dylan Walker. Two incredibly skilled players who have certainly seemed to have some chemistry in practice, but now some speed here for Utah down the far board. Shively, great job there to take away any space. I do miss being able to say John Shively with the best mullet in the ACHA, but he got responsible and cut his hair. But Shively, great shutdown defenseman. Fisher makes sure his man can't get down the boards easily as Schwab lost that one. So Fisher, Utah winding up the forecheck. Selman takes a hit there. Turnover at the blue line. Some space for Utah as their two players try to sort out who's going to take a shot, and neither of them end up getting it. So Dylan Dix now in the Utah end. Gets it up to the U of A blue line. That plays onside. Turnaround, quick shot. Lowell, he gets a stick in his skates, but no call on the play. So Lowell, now he gets some space. Goes under one, pushes through another, almost gets through a third. Lowell and a player, they get tangled up. No call on that play. So Utah back over the line. Quick shot there. Sepinen had to be
On a good bounce for U of A.
So now the Wildcats with a possible 2-on-1 again. Lowell waits, tries to go across, and Overland, they're trying to set that exact same play again, but Overland got tied up. Josephson, though, isn't done on this shift. Puck is still loose. Some tired guys out on the ice for both teams. Busby with a good job tries to center it. Josephson still banging away there. So Utah finally able to clear that one out of the zone. The Wildcats definitely look like the fresher team here as icing is going to be called. And I'm guessing some tired Utah Utes are going to be coming back over the bench. And Jesse Lowell just, you got to love it when a player just plays steamroller type hockey. They do not care how many guys are posted up along the far wall. Lowell is just saying, I'm going to go through you or you're going to have to tie me up to stop it. And that puck ends up getting deep.
Yeah, it's similar almost to like a big-bodied running back in the NFL where he gets the ball or he gets the puck and he's just like, all right, like I'm going to hit you instead of you hitting me. He's so tough to move off the puck. Every day in practice, going against him in the corner is just a nightmare.
I'm guessing by proxy, Lowell has made a lot of other guys on this team tougher just by having to practice against him. So the Wildcats knocked that one down. Hodgson with a good job. Swigger was out in the slot, but Hodgson just gets it deep. Now Selman in against dueling number 20s. Senegal for Utah. U of A, great play there to at least keep it in the zone, not allow anything to come quickly back the other way. So now Music back for Utah. Selman pressuring him. 11:14 left to go in the second period, all tied up at 1. U of A goal coming from Overland, Utah goal coming from Langenbrunner. So now the Wildcats, Rossi with a good little cutback, gets it down deep in on Grelich. And now Delaney, as Utah tries to wind it up. A little bit of a broken play, but works out just fine for them. Sepinen, glove that and slow things down a little bit. So some of the intensity of the first couple minutes of the period is slowed down a tiny bit, with the U of A chant starting here from the Tucson faithful.
Yeah, it seems the crowd's been a little bit more into it this second period here, which is great for U of A. Maybe inject some life into the bench, into the guys, and the pace has picked up a little bit too. I think it's been a little more racehorse hockey here back and forth.
And Wildcat fans, thank you for joining us on the broadcast, but if you are ever able to join us live at the Tucson Arena, these Wildcats need your support. We all know how much the crowd means to them into this program, and there's nothing these guys love more than playing in front of the Tucson crowd. And I'm sure during your time here at the U of A, you saw just how passionate these fans in Tucson are and just how much that means to the program. I'm sure for players, it's a lot more fun scoring a goal in front of 4,000 people instead of 40.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, especially like last week when we play Arizona State and we get those crowds, it brings your game to a whole new level because it means so much more. And you can see the passion in the fans when they score against a rival, and it's a special feeling to score a goal in one of those games, that's for sure.
So Shetland wins that one forward. Quick shot, Williams not able to get a tip on it. Williams and Slater dueling number 8s. Couple dueling numbers here matched up against each other. Now Utah will just be content to dump that one out of the zone. Laurel, but no icing on the play. Fisher, that one comes over to Slater. He lets it go. Quick shot, deflected, and that will be number 7, Kraft for Utah. Impossible there for Sepinen pretty much. It's a long shot from the point and a quick redirect in the slot. And now Utah, after really not playing their best hockey for the last 10 minutes of the period, found a way to go up 2-1 here in the second. So Kraft with an aware stick, the top line for Utah, gets the go-ahead goal, and the Wildcats now really gonna have to dig deep.
Well, that's just
Utah
how quickly
goal.
things can change here.
Scored by number 7, Oliver Kraft. Assisted by number 16, Joseph Young. Time of the goal, 9 minutes and 42 seconds of the second period. Again, Utes goal by number 7, Oliver Kraft, and number 16, Joseph Young with the assist. Time of the goal, 9 minutes and 42 seconds of the second period.
Now Slater tries to drag that to the slot. Utah still with a chance here as the puck's loose. Now Light goes back to the point. Quick shot there. That one doesn't get through.
Another block by Connor Ziegler.
So Ziegler able to get that one out to Josephson. He tries to find Malco, but a good read there. Josephson sticks with it. Now Ziegler over the line. Quick shot into the glove of Grelich. As Music and Ziegler exchange pleasantries. So Utah has to feel pretty good about themselves right now. Definitely not going to say they've outplayed the U of A tonight, but as we saw in that last game last weekend against ASU, Utah being opportunistic here at the Tucson Arena.
Well, that's exactly the type of play they want to run there. They just chip a puck in deep, cause a turnover, quick shot on net, gets redirected in front and finds its way through Sepinen into the net. It's nothing flashy. It's nothing too skill-oriented. It's just they get pucks deep and they cause turnovers.
Now another quick shot. Sepinen has to fight that one off. Hard wrist shot there from Landa Cusick. So the U of A trying to break it up through the middle. Hodgson's pass almost gets turned over. Selman tries to dump it just deep enough to relieve the pressure as Swigger will get in on the forecheck against Dix. Swigger, good body there, but Selman not able to follow up on possession. Langenbrunner across the ice. Quick shot there on Sepinen. That one still loose. No one sees it, and it's still against Sepinen's pad, luckily. So the lively boards that we've talked about, that one kicks back out to Sepinen. He couldn't find it. Scramble out in front, and luckily for the Wildcats, whistle goes before the puck gets into the net. Definitely you can feel this crowd is just waiting for something to cheer for. There seems to be, last week against ASU, you had the really early goal by Swigger. Nothing much in between until Lowell scored towards the final minutes, and then tonight, a little bit of an early goal by Overland, and since then it's been 2 goals in Utah's favor, so.
And I think too, even in my time here, it's like the last 2 or 3 years, every single year it seems like the popularity among the hockey team on campus gets bigger and bigger. And the crowds are getting bigger and bigger, and it's certainly with the amount of talent that they brought in with this recruiting class, there is a lot of expectations for this team. And then to come out last week and not get the job done at home, and then find yourself down in the second period here against Utah, I think there's a lot of anticipation for a big breakthrough coming.
Yeah, and you got to think on the bench, are the guys, gripping their sticks a little bit tighter, starting to feel a little bit of that pressure, but hopefully this team can just stick to the system and grind out a win here, which would be much needed to get the season started on the right foot. So Shetland in against Delaney. Utah trying to get it out. Williams knocks it down, but 2 or 3 more shoves, and that one does get into the U of A zone as Overland. Shadowed there by Donovan, so Utah content to hold some possession at center ice. Turnover there, Shetland a little bit slow to get off the ice too. Wonder if that was just a door issue more so than anything else. So now Busby with it. He'll look to bring it over the line. Busby drops it back to Williams. Williams tries to go middle, nothing going. And Williams absolutely rang one off the crossbar, but a possible 3-on-1 here for Utah. One pass, quick shot. Overland, or that was Shively with a great job there to stay calm and break that up for what looked like a guaranteed opportunity for Utah.
Yeah, fantastic defensive play there by John Shively. He must have been taking some lessons from Chris Hedgecoke during his time here.
Those two guys, Chris Hedgecoke, when he departed, some big shoes to fill, and Shively's been trying to kind of take up that role of a shutdown guy, but a turnover here behind the net. Jam play at the side, comes off the moorings, whistle will go. 7:20 left to go in the second period. Utah up 2 with a goal this period by Oliver Kraft. So we are off the ice at the Tucson Arena for a little while. We will be returning to play GCU October 20th and 21st. Next weekend, though, U of A goes up to the Mullet to play the ASU D1 team in an exhibition game. That'll certainly be an experience.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's going to be as big of a challenge as U of A thinks it is. Just with they have a lot of players that have played similar level to that, with guys coming from the North American League now, and there's a lot of guys that are playing actually against former teammates in that game. So it'll be interesting to see. It's such a big opportunity for the U of A to kind of show where they're at as a program.
Yeah, especially because obviously ASU's D1 program, one of the better in the country, so the Wildcats getting a chance to test themselves against that. Quick chance here, right from the slot is Logan Jackson. All alone out in front on a broken play. Utah trying to keep the pressure on. Now Myers, he gets buried by Ethan Light. So Fisher, Walker not able to get a stick on that. That one is going to be called no icing. Full line change here for the Wildcats. Picked over at the blue line. Swigger tries to cut middle, can't get it through. Selman wraps it around, takes a hit for his troubles. Landon Cusick. That stick helping out the Wildcats, though. A little bit of indecision there, whether or not to pinch by Cosden. Leads to a play going the other way. Now Light with a lot of time. Good save there by Sepinen. So the Wildcats, Swigger, good second effort play. So now Rossi, he can't get the shot through. Selman, he blows a tire and goes down. 2-on-1 with Cosden, defending against Landa Cusick. Wildcats get back into position though. Along the far boards. Sharp angle shot there on Sepinen, hit the side of the net. Now Langenbrunner, he tries to go middle. Good stick there by Cosden, recovery. Tries to fire a pass up to Williams, but unless he can slow down time, it's pretty hard to stop that one. So it'll be icing, come back down to the U of A zone.
Bear down, rise up.
And obviously with Langus as the 7th defenseman and losing Hughes, so 11 forwards, guys having to skate extra. See if that fatigue sets in a little bit for the forward core of the Wildcats here.
Yeah, and it's great to see Zach Langus in the lineup. That's a kid that shows up every single day, works his butt off, and then doesn't ask for much in return. So seeing him get an opportunity here tonight is huge, and I think he's just going to run with it. I think if you give him enough playing time, he's going to stick in the lineup. He's going to prove that he's worth it. I mean, guys hate going against him every day in practice. He's so solid on the back end there.
Definitely one of the more gym-focused U of A hockey players, I would say. Now Williams possibly with some time and space. He'll wait for a little bit of backup. Cosden drives the net, tries to get the puck through to him, nothing going. So the Wildcats were changing a little bit behind Williams there, but Cosden is able to keep this play alive down low. Another guy that's hard to get off the puck, but Utah able to do so. Quick little dump in. Sepinen will try to play this one, does a good job finding Lowell. He tries to wrap it out to Williams, gets broken up, but at least out of the zone. Now Jackson, Sepinen not able to hold that one. Langus with a good hit there along the boards. Wildcats almost with a chance through the middle, but just could not quite get it going as Donovan works it along the far boards against 2 Wildcats. Donovan holds onto it, over to Logan Jackson. 4:29 left to go in the second period. Lowell, he gets away from 2 Utah players. Now maybe a chance for Jesse Lowell. Jesse Lowell tries to shovel it middle, can't get it through. Good defensive play there by Young for Utah. it's going to be Slater over the line with a good bit of speed. Goes wide on Overland, but Overland gets the poke check on it. So now Dix from the point, quick shot. Sepinen gets a little bit of a glove on that one just to get it wide. Light gets buried in the corner there by Josephson.
The University of Arizona
So
Wildcat
puck goes up over the glass. Face-off will be in the U of A zone.
That little poke check there by Overland at the end of that play, that's something that he's so good at. Overland just has no panic in his game. He's so calm back there. The guy beats him wide with speed, but he still has enough confidence that he's going to turn, he's going to time his poke check right and knock it away in the corner.
That's definitely what I noticed the most about Overland last season, was just his composure and his ability to take away space with his stick. Not the most physical guy on the back end, but a very smart defenseman in the way he takes away space.
Yeah, very smart, really good instincts, and then just such a good calming presence that just, it seems like he slows everything down on the ice when things are in chaos mode.
So Myers takes a hard hit there along the boards from Usyk. This line will try to get to work on the forecheck. Myers, quick turnaround shot, and it's in! Sam Myers, the ref is pointing, it's in, they can't debate it. So Sam Myers, with the effort from behind the net, comes out to the side, shoots the puck, scores. Not the prettiest of goals. Could not even see it cross the line from this angle. I'm sorry, Sam, didn't get the best goal call for your first of the season. Still plenty of time. Don't like the refs conferring after this, though. They're going to give a little explanation there to Dylan Dix about exactly what happened, but the ref on the far side was very adamant that puck was in, and we don't have video review here to overrule a call on the ice. So I'm guessing here that this goal is going to stand and the Wildcats are going to tie it at 2 as the puck does come out to center ice. So the ref saw something that from this angle up here was very tough to. Not exactly a highlight reel goal, but just like in golf, doesn't matter what the result's all that matters.
Yeah, that's one of those unique goals that you see every once in a while where it's like the goalie made the save, but I think part of the goalie was in the net when he made the save. So the puck crosses the line, doesn't matter that the goalie made the save.
I do feel a little bit bad for Myers there, though. The crowd didn't quite know how to react.
Myers, assisted by number 6, Ryan Fisher.
Selman with a quick shot.
Time of the goal, 16 minutes and 21 seconds of the second period. Wildcat goal scored by number 15, Sam Myers, assisted by number 6, Ryan Fisher. Time of the goal, 16 minutes, 21 seconds of the second period.
So Myers gets his first of the season after picking up an assist against ASU. So 2 points in 2 games for Myers. And Myers is a very determined player in practice. He does not like missing a net. He does not like messing up a drill. He's got a lot of passion.
I think it's just he holds himself to such a high standard on the ice out there. He wants to be perfect in everything that he does, and when he's not, it upsets him. But by doing that and having those practice habits, like when it gets to the game, everything seems easy for him because there's no pressure anymore.
Yeah, he almost puts more pressure on himself in practice than anything else. And that goal by him there, you know, he just sees a little bit of empty space, takes it, decides to get a shot, doesn't overthink it. And just a great job there by Myers to get this game tied up. So the Wildcats in a much different situation now as Overland will go back. He's chased down hard there. Good puck support, though, from the Wildcats so far in this shift, but now Utah trying to break it out to the front of the net. A little bit of space here. They go back to the point to Laurel. That one gets blocked down.
Ziegler with another block.
Ziegler might have got knocked down there, but he'll take that shot block any day of the week. Ziegler, just a great heart and soul guy, a good locker room guy, always a jovial presence, works incredibly hard and willing to give up the body in games. And now Selman with a bit of speed over the blue line. Quick shot there. That one just goes high on Grealish. Tries to shovel one on net. Quick shot, and Malco scores! Selman, Malco, and Ziegler go to work, and the Wildcats take a 3-2 lead in a matter of about a minute.
What a pass, too, from Ziggy there. I think we had a little in-between-the-legs backdoor pass to Malco for a wide-open goal.
So some great teamwork there from a bit of a thrown-together line. Ziegler staying out there after the shot block. That's where the sequence all gets started, and he gets rewarded as the bench. Lots of head pats around for Ziegler, but Ryan Malco in the right place at the right time and absolutely buries that
Arizona
one.
Wildcats goal!
So now another chance here for Shetland over the line. Shetland tries to find Williams.
Assisted by number 20,
Grealish makes a good save there, but the Wildcats are rolling now.
Yeah, and those two that just had that 2-1, Shetland and Williams, those two, if they stay together, they're going to be so fun to watch. They're both so crafty. Like you saw there in that 2-1, Shet did about 3 head fakes where he looked like he was going to shoot and then slid it back door.
So the Wildcats stick with the system, stick with the program, get 2 goals here in the second period to take a 1-goal lead. So the Wildcats with a lot of fight in this period. A chance there from Fisher. That one caroms around. And Grealish barely fights that one off. And so now Utah looking to respond. Lowell says no. And Jesse Lowell with an absolutely massive hit at center ice. Jesse Lowell, but now a chance here. Oh, the Utah player, Schwab, maybe didn't realize how much time he had, luckily for the U of A. So Jesse Lowell thriving off the crowd. Williams would have loved to take that one into the zone, but instead almost whacked Gulsvig in the face with a puck, but no harm done. So Jesse Lowell stepping up and absolutely burying Jules Donovan.
Well, we talked about the strength that Jesse has earlier too, and it doesn't come super natural for him. I mean, he works his butt off in the gym. He's got tree trunks for legs, and then he also looks like he's about 35 years old. So you put all that together, and he's a tough body to run into.
As a former teammate, you might be able to say he looks 35. I just always say it just reminds me of a guy that came out of the coal mines. That's what Jesse reminds me of. It's just the type of guy you really don't want to mess with. And he shows that every game in a U of A uniform. And they're not irresponsible hits. They're not dirty hits. He finds the center of mass all the time, shoulder on shoulder. And you need those guys in your lineup that play that physical game. And when it's your captain and a talented goal scorer on top of it, as we've said before, just a coach's dream. So Lowell there with a couple big hits after 2 big goals for the Wildcats. 1 minute left to go in the period.
1 minute remaining.
This is where the Wildcats got a little bit lax and gave up that tying goal in the first. Just got to sharpen some things up here. Almost a turnover, but Busby able to keep it. Blocks the entry attempt for Utah. But now a chance here for Landon Cusick. He's got some space. He's going to take it to the middle. Overland just gives it enough of a shove to get it out there. Hodgson gets rammed along the boards, but the Wildcats get it deep enough. Pretty slow little icing there, but ref decides the Utah player could not have reached it. And that'll come back into the U of A zone. So 32 seconds left. And this is where you kind of see if a little bit of that speech in the locker room, a little bit of readjustments, tightening up that final minute of the period. But so far, the Wildcats, Utah did a good job getting that go-ahead goal on the tip from Kraft. But then the Wildcats with just some great efforts from Myers. And then Malco was the recipient of the great play created by Ziegler and Selman.
Yeah, and what a shift by Connor Ziegler there. He blocks his 3rd shot of the game and then hustles down to the other end, digs out a loose puck, goes in between the legs for the pass, backside to Malco.
Speaking personally as someone, what keeps me around this program are honestly guys like Connor Ziegler. You see the type of players that Coach Berman brings in. He always talks about, you can be a great player, but you need to be a good person to be in this locker room. And, some guys at practice are more talkative than others, but over the years, especially guys like Josephson, always talking about the Bruins with him, and then Ziegler, just a guy who's always got a smile on and comes to practice ready to work.
Well, both those two guys, Ziegler and Josephson, they both just show up every day ready to work. And honestly, like even like Willie Josephson there, he's in a second line role tonight where he's asked to kind of create some offense, and he can do it. And then last weekend he was on more of that checking line, and he can do it. He'll do whatever you need him to do, and he's going to do it with a smile on his face. That's the best part.
So now the Wildcats, 26 seconds left to go in this period, need to finish out strong. You've got a 1-goal lead after a lot of hard work, 24 seconds to finish it off, and now Shetland trying to get on his horse and get to it first. Not often you see Shetland lose a puck race, but got a lot of ground to make up. Landon Cusick tries to throw one on. Sepinen not taking any chance with that hit in the side of the net, gloves it down. 7.7 seconds left to go in the second period. Wildcats up 1 after goals from Myers and Malco. So all 3 goal scorers tonight for the Wildcats getting their first of the season. Good to see some of the depth that we've talked about so much on this roster showing up, showing what they can do. Shetland, smart little play there just to make sure it gets deep and around the clock. So playing through some adversity tonight for the Wildcats. Hughes goes down early in the first period, got to shuffle the lines. You come out here and give up a goal with 1 minute left in the
Shots
first.
on
You go
goal
down by
after
1
the
in the
second
second on a
period.
redirect from high up
Arizona
from
had
the
8,
point.
Utah.
The Wildcats
Arizona had
don't let it
9,
get them
Utah
down.
8.
They don't panic too much.
The score after
We
2
talked about the added
periods.
pressure after
Utah
losing that first
2,
game to
Arizona
ASU.
Wildcats
Maybe you could have
3.
seen that come out, but some great composure here from the leadership core, from Coach Berman settling his players down. And the Wildcats head into the third period now with a lead.
Yeah, and I know this has been kind of a Connor Ziegler fan club for the last few minutes here, but he really did change energy on the entire bench. I mean, he blocks the shot, and you can see the whole bench gets up for it. The boys start to pick it up a little bit, and then 30 seconds later, he makes an unbelievable backdoor feed for Malco, a nice one-timer towards the top shelf. And then from there, it just seemed like U of A's got all the energy, and I think the biggest thing is they've got the confidence now. They know they've got guys that are going to score goals. It's just a matter of getting that first one. And now if you guys have that first one, it'll just keep rolling.
Alrighty, Wildcat fans,
Wildcat fans,
Sebastian
stick
Janik
around.
and Josh
In
Lusby
just a
will be back to bring you the third period in just a little bit. This is Wildcat Hockey.
Wildcat fans, this weekend we are remembering Joe Pirates once again, a beloved member of our community here at the University of Arizona hockey program. Joe worked in this building with this program for almost 3 decades. He was a key piece. Last season, I worked very closely with him in a media director role as Joe helped to move this program into the future, creating new content, getting awareness about this program back into the Tucson community. His passion and commitment to this program was always evident with the time he put in, never asking for anything in return and simply doing what he did for the love of U of A hockey. And that's what makes this program so special. I'm sure fans, just like the rest of us, will miss his calls throughout the building, miss the sound of his voice here. But we're going to do our best to honor his memory moving forward and remember Joe for the great, amazing person he was, and not only as a person, but a member of this team, was just so critical and such a huge piece, and he'll sorely be missed.
The game, how are you feeling?
It was good. I thought the first period we kind of slowed down at the end there. Got to go back in the locker room, regroup, and
The game, how are you feeling?
it was good. I thought the first period we kind of slowed down at the end there. Got to go back in the locker room, regroup, and hopefully come out with 2 points here.
You were able to clinch your first goal for the season tonight. How are you feeling?
Good. It was good that we bounced back in the second. We really needed an answer there, so it's good to get on the board, and hopefully we can close out here.
What are you guys going to do moving into your last little kind of stretch before the third period?
Yeah, we got to keep getting it behind their D, getting hard on the forecheck, and creating opportunities out of the corners and in front of the net. So hopefully we can get this next one and then seal it.
Thank you so much.
we get set here to drop the puck on the third period. Sorry, figuring out some audio stuff here. Me and Lusby switched headsets, got a little bit confused by the soundboard, but we're all good to go now as your Wildcats come out for this third period, looking to win their first home game of the season. 20 minutes of work here to do, but a 1-goal lead after some great work, especially by Selman, Malco, and Ziegler, with Malco getting the goal towards the end of that period to give the Wildcats a 3-2 lead. And this has had to be a resilient effort for the Wildcats. Number one top line center goes down very early in the beginning of the game. Lines get shuffled. Late goal in the first, but the Wildcats have stuck with it, worked hard, and they've got a lead coming into this period. For the family of Tristan Swiger, thank you for the pronunciation correction. He was unfortunately a little bit too nice to tell me I was pronouncing his name wrong this whole time, but Tristan Swiger, he's had a great game as well. One of the promising new players on this Wildcat team who's going to be here for a while, able to build his legacy up and make sure I pronounce his name correctly from now on. But just such a nice kid. I can imagine I could have called him Swigger to his face for the next 4 years and he probably would have never said anything.
Well, I think the challenging part with that is the boys call him Swigs.
Yeah, so Swiger and then Split. Well, how is his nickname not like Swags or Swagger? He's got some swagger to his game, so we'll see. Either way, Tristan Swiger out there at number 24 to take this first shift, so a little bit of a different look. Shetland not centering this line going into this period. Trying to see if I see Shetland on the, yeah, Shetland is on the bench there, just hiding behind a few guys. So Swiger going to be skating with Lowell and Williams. Lowell has been a great physical force so far this game. Hasn't hit the back of the net quite yet, but Utah with a quick turnover at the blue line. Wildcats, Slater tries to go back across the zone. Good play there by Lowell to knock down his man in the slot. Couldn't take away the stick, but took away the body. Ethan Light spins away from a check. Quick shot there. Now a lot of room, and I'm pretty sure John Shively just saved a goal there.
Yeah, great block by Shively there.
So now Williams can't find enough space to work with it, but good support there from Swiger. Swiger trying to go out front to Williams. Williams sticking with the puck as the Wildcats are changing behind him. Overland now on it. Penalty coming up against Utah. So now Busby with it at the point. Lowell take it back beyond the blue line, try to set something up. Overland can't get possession, but luckily Kraft doesn't either. So the Wildcats with 6 skaters on the ice and no goalie. Dylan Walker just fans on a bit of a pass there. See how well the ice holds up for the rest of this game. But now Rossi with it. Rossi with to Walker out in front. Great save there by Grealish, but some great patience there. Rossi and Walker working very well together to get that opportunity.
Yeah, now we'll get to see what the Arizona power play can do on clean ice.
So the Wildcats, their only power play earlier in the game was towards the very end of the period. Some choppy ice, not much to work with. But now the Wildcats will look to go back to work. Shetland can't quite win the faceoff, and Utah can't quite get it out of the zone. Myers ties up his man. Shetland gets to the puck first. So Rossi not able to find it quick enough as Delaney skates it out for Utah. Delaney with some speed right up through the middle. Long shot there on Sepinen. Gephardt will come in just to make sure that Sepinen doesn't lose it somehow. So a minute 50 left to go on the power play. Wildcats did give up a shorthanded goal against ASU. So want to make sure that you don't get too lackadaisical or too confident. You do have a 1-goal lead on the power play, but want to see the Wildcats try to get out of that habit of working it around the perimeter completely and just start jamming pucks to the slot. They've got some big bodies in Rossi, Lowell, Selman, some guys that can really battle down low and create space. So I think just some jam plays to the slot couldn't hurt much. The refs having a bit of a discussion here with the U of A bench.
And I think the idea too on the power play, especially with all the perimeter passing, is to get the Utah forwards that are defending kind of running around, get them tired, and then find a seam. But you can tell the passing for U of A just isn't there right now, so they're going to have to get dirty with it a little bit.
Yeah, it's always great to see those beautiful tic-tac goal, passes through the slot, but A lot of teams are really good at just using their sticks to get in lanes, and now a turnover here for Utah. Quick shot there, just goes off the far post. Wildcats get away with one. Caught sleeping at center ice. Utah brings it right back in, and that one absolutely rang the far side of the post. So hopefully a bit of a wake-up call there on the power play.
What if you ask Sepinen, he's going to say that's the only thing the guy had to shoot at. His angle was so good on that one.
Well, I would definitely agree with him. There wasn't a whole lot to shoot at, but giving up those opportunities at this point in the game, I don't think Coach Berman or anyone else is going to encourage that. So some work to do still here on the power play, not only in terms of scoring, but just tidying things up as the season goes on. Lowell chips that one in deep, goes after it. He gets taken down. Nothing on the play. So now Busby trying to wait for Lowell to clear the zone. Swiger drops it back to nobody. Utah having a pretty easy time on this penalty kill right now as the Wildcats power play just continues to look a little bit disjointed. So now Williams gets the puck back, not able to corral it. Swiger fights through it. Now a chance here. Walker wakes off one man. Walker holding, shot off the side of the net. So Walker with a great chance. Wildcats trying to set something up. Now Busby over to Walker. Walker finds Selman. Selman quick shot. That one never gets through. Good vision there from Walker to find Selman coming off the bench. So now Walker holds. Utah collapsing down low. Shot from Selman. And Grealish is able to fight through the view of Jesse Lowell to grab that one. So a good final push here on the power play. Good last 20 seconds after a little bit lackluster. And I think the only reason I can be so harsh on the power play over the last couple of games is just you look at the guys you're rolling out. You know, both five-man units are so talented and so good that you really want to see the power play be an absolute weapon for the U of A. Make teams afraid of putting you on the power play. And as this season develops, I'm sure the chemistry will get there. Quick shot from Shively. That one barely goes wide, but a good opportunity there. Fisher gets to it quick enough. 4 seconds left to go, and that'll do it for the U of A power play. But not the best start, but a good finish. With 16:43 left to go in the third period. Wildcats up by one. Go-ahead goal scored by Ryan Malco as he gets it on the forecheck against Dix.
Well, as we mentioned before, that's going to be the challenge for U of A this year. It's not about do they have the talent, it's can they find the right chemistry. That is everything at this level, and they have certainly, I would say 15 guys in that locker room that at some point are going to be on the power play for sure. It's just finding the right combination of 5 guys.
Yeah, finding that guy, you know, which forward works best up at the point, which guy is best in the bumper. You know, I really like the idea of, you know, just putting Rossi out in front of the goalie and taking shots from the point, looking for a tip or something down out in front, because Rossi can clear a lot of space for himself if you get the puck down at his feet. Same thing with Jesse Lowell, Brody Selman, Swiger, a number of these guys. So, you know, obviously with this much talent, you love to see a fancy power play, but part of, I think, what makes those power play units so dangerous is just those big physical guys you can hopefully plant out in front. So Williams, I think, looked back there saying that's not a penalty, and the ref agreed. And the refs have done a good job, I would say, kind of regulating the flow of this game. Maybe a couple times, you know, we've been surprised the hand hasn't gone up, but as long as it's consistent and fair, I don't ever mind that whatsoever. And the refs have certainly been consistent and fair so far throughout this game. So now the Wildcats trying to hold up Utah at the blue line. Landenberger cannot get it into the zone. Lowell, quick little turnaround dump. Everyone's got to look over their shoulder for Williams. For definitely, you know, obviously not the biggest guy by any means, but he hounds pucks. Landacusic tries to get it over to Mickle. Selman comes in with a big hit along the boards. Great job there by Selman. And Rossi with another good little hit there. I feel like if Rossi had had a couple strides before that hit, it would have looked a lot more impressive, but separates man from puck, gets the puck up the ice. Selman will dump it in deep as Slater goes to chase. A little bit of miscommunication there between Grealish and Slater. The Wildcats are the beneficiaries. That one comes out to the slot. Now Selman tries to go backhand, goes down low. Chance still out in front. Puck's loose. Everyone's jamming away at it. No whistle is gone. Grealish is absolutely sprawled out. Utah will be happy to skate that one out, but an absolute dog pile in front. But now Ethan Light, great job there by Sepinen to cut down the angle, because you see the shot that Ethan Light has. It's a wired wrister, but right into the center of mass for Sepinen. So somehow that puck does not end up in the net. About 3 players did, but the puck stays out. But those type of jam plays down low, the Wildcats, I don't think personally have taken enough of an advantage of, but starting to work on that a little bit more. And now Walker breaks away from a check from his man. Shetland just couldn't pull that one from behind him, or he probably would have been gone on that. And Utah having a hard time getting it into the zone without that dump and chase. They just don't quite have the speed or the passing to break in cleanly. And the Wildcats, as long as they keep their feet moving and get backs to pucks first, they're going to take those dump-ins all day long. So Dix there kind of sandwiches Walker between the boards, but Walker gets up and gets the puck back. Dix takes another run at him, but now that gives Josephson some room back to Walker. Some patience here from Josephson and Walker. Malco back out on the ice. Busby over to Overland. Quick shot there. Walker looking for a tip out in front. He takes a shot from Dix. They go at each other. So Dix and Walker were going at each other a couple times during that shift. Dix gives Walker a little bit of a cross check after the play. So we'll see if the refs here live up to my record. And unfortunately here for the Wildcats, it looks like it's just going to be Walker going to the box. So a couple extra shots from Walker, and refs decide that's enough for roughing with a 1-goal lead. The Wildcats penalty kill, and good old Connor Ziegler probably going to be called on again for a big moment in this hockey game.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's the right call or not, just to take Walker there, but that's just, at this point in the game, up 1 goal, you can't give Utah any reason to get back into it or get any momentum into it. So that's just something that you gotta be a little bit smarter about, not take those penalties.
Yeah. And like we said, I think, the way it goes in hockey is the retaliator is always going to get called. Dix gives Walker a little shove, and it's probably the time in the game where Walker's just got to take that on the chin, not worry about it, but wants to defend himself, and it's just a bit too much. So the Wildcats have to go on a big penalty kill here. Landa Cusick down below the dots. Lowell with a great job there to break up the play. Landa Cusick skates in, can't get a shot through. Good block by Shively. It's a team penalty kill right there. So now Delaney tries to go down the near boards. Fisher and Selman on him, but Logan Jackson up at the point. Quick shot there, Sepinen, and on the rebound, they score. So Utah opportunistic on the power play. Big rebound out in front, and Mickle buries it for Utah as we've got a tie game here, 3-3 in the third period.
Really unfortunate rebound there too, because it looked like Sepp had a good leg on it and was able to kick it out to the side, and it just kind of got tied up in the skates of Fisher and found its way right on Utah's stick.
So Utah doing a good job here, scoring when they get the chance. And we talked about power plays being a weapon for the Wildcats. Hasn't been the case, but Utah here, I believe that's their second power play goal of the game. Trying to think back to the first period there. So the Wildcats now, so Walker going back to the box again. Gonna have to see what the call is here. Didn't see it being a double minor. So it's gonna be, refs are signaling 5-on-5. A little bit confused here about exactly what's going on. Unless they gave Walker a 5-minute.
Yeah, and I don't know too. I know Walker wasn't too happy with that penalty initially. I don't know if he maybe said something as he got out of the box to one of the officials and they didn't like it and they decided to throw him back in there with the misconduct or whatnot. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get clarity on that after the game.
Yeah, so no penalty on the play. So 5-on-5.
Assist to number 6, Logan Jackson. Time of the goal, 6 minutes and 48 seconds of the third period.
So now the Wildcats tasked with responding yet again. Dylan Walker still in the box. We'll see just how long he's in there. Wildcats already down 1 forward. So now that one bounces lively off the boards. Josephson gets in there. Malco not able to corral it as Utah works it along the near boards. They'll be content to shovel that out to center ice. Langus rips it around. Wildcats will get a line change here. It's going to be interesting to see who takes Walker's spot on that different line. So Walker is going to get a 10-minute misconduct here. Definitely guessing for something that was said to the refs, but Lowell now with a chance with Williams. Williams over the line, holds, goes center, tries to find Lowell on the back door, and barely puts that one wide as Grelich was sprawled all the way out.
Really good step up there on the back end from Zach Langus, too. Drove the net hard, created that lane for that pass.
So now Lowell over to Swiger. Swiger tries to dance through too many Utah players on him. So you've got your number 1 center who's gone down the tunnel, done for the game. Now Walker in the box for 10 minutes. So these Wildcats forwards are going to be getting some extra time. Utah will see if they can take advantage of that, but Shively, he lets out Williams. Williams tries to get some speed through center ice, finds Shively in the trailer. That one gets turned over though. Wildcats have to hustle back. Couple too many dekes there. But Utah with another chance. That one's almost another rebound out in front. Play's gonna get blown dead here. Maybe play with a high stick. I didn't see the call, but, or a hand pass, either way. Wildcats would need to have a big third period here. Getting that first win on home ice of the season. You really don't want to get too many games in before you hit that milestone.
I actually think the U of A is going to take a too many men on the ice penalty here.
It's looking like that's going to be the correct call. So the Wildcats getting into penalty trouble here in the third period.
Well, and that's just part of it. That's part of losing your first line center and then losing Walker for a little bit here too, is you're shuffling lines around. Guys aren't always too sure if they're going or not, and then you get some confusion in front of the bench and too many men.
So the Berman electing to put Williams in the box, maybe looking for a breakaway from him when he gets out.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a move that he's not on the penalty kill right now, and you can get him out in 2 minutes and guarantee that he's going to be fresh on the ice. It's just a smart move.
So a huge penalty kill here for the Wildcats. They cannot afford to give up another power play goal tonight. Selman not able to win the faceoff against Langenbrunner. Landa Cusick goes down below the goal line. Utah cycling, looking to get to the slot. Quick shot there, just goes high on the blocker side of Sepinen. Now Mickle goes to wrap it around. They work it across. Back to the point, Landa Cusick, quick shot. A lot of traffic out in front. Sepinen has to be really reactive to that one. Utah laying on the pressure here. Landa Cusick again able to get that shot through. Wildcats have to get in those shooting lanes. So now another chance here for Landa Cusick. Tries to go wide again that time. The Wildcats not giving up a lane to the net, so forces him to go wide. Still working it down low here. Almost a full minute of zone time for the Utah Utes on the power play. Another shot, Sepinen with the blocker save. So sometimes you have to have your goalie be your best penalty killer, and currently that's what's going on right now, but the Wildcats just cannot seem to get this puck out of the zone.
Well, we've talked about U of A's power play not looking super sharp, but Utah's power play for the first game of the year here looks really good. And I think the difference is they've got guys that are kind of moving around, and not that they're making switches all the time, but that they're opening themselves up for passes. They're forcing the U of A players to communicate a little bit about who's got who.
Yeah, and Landa Cusick was able to tee off about 3 different wristers there, skating in. Quick shot, that one's held by Sepinen. Another good save by him. And you see it with the Utah power play. You know, they are working around the perimeter, but it's maybe 2-3 passes and a shot. They're not looking for that perfect play. They're not looking for that perfect lane. It's just open up just enough room to get something through to the net.
But if you watch the guys away from the puck, the guys that don't have it, they're not just standing there stationary. They're moving around a little bit. They're forcing the U of A players out of position.
And that's what you see with all the best power plays at any level of hockey. It's movement, not only of the puck, but of players constantly finding areas, just getting lost in coverage.
Exactly, yeah. You've got an extra guy, and you have to take advantage of that.
So now Dick's content to hold it at the point. Now Light with some time. Quick shot, that one's blocked. Utah player has a broken stick, so the Wildcats a little bit of 4-on-4 here, but Utah able to get their 5th man back. Now Slater with it. Little bump pass, they interchange. They go back to the point to Dix. Dix lane, great shot, great save by Sepinen. That one got through Josephson. Now another quick shot in on Sepinen. And I really think that's what Utah did much better on the penalty kill, was just blocking shots. You know, we talked about how important it was Ziegler doing that, but there's probably 8-9 shots that Utah has had from the high point that have gotten in on Sepinen, and if it wasn't for his rebound control, you gotta think Utah is just salivating at the idea of this many shots getting in on Sepinen. So 9:30 left to go. Jackson across, quick shot. That one's broken out in front. Sepinen has to fight it off. Fisher sprawled out. Sepinen lets him know it's good to keep going. Another shot there. That one's blocked. That's a huge block there as Williams gets out of the box, back to 5-on-5. Williams with a turnover here, all alone in. Williams scores! Brendan Williams! U of A Wildcats lead 4-3 third period. Couldn't have drawn it up any better. Put him in the box, get him on a breakaway. He's not gonna miss that one.
No, that's exactly why you do that. We just talked about why throw Williams in the box there. And so he comes out, he's fresh. He's gonna get on the ice with fresh legs, creates a turnover right away and goes in and buries it.
And Williams with his first goal in an Arizona jersey. That is one excited hockey player right there. I know Berman's not much for showmanship, but that's gotta feel good for Williams there. I mean, you see him get in all alone like that. We've got the rookies to the right of us. Every single one of them stood up knowing what Williams can do in that scenario. And Brendan Williams with an electric goal after a huge penalty kill, with major credit to Nicholas Sepinen, who absolutely played his butt off on that penalty kill, fighting to get pucks out of the zone. Great rebound control. And then at the end there, Shively with a block, breaks it up. And Williams is able to pick that one up at the blue line all alone and beats Grealish right below the crossbar.
Now the challenge for U of A is just making sure you don't give Utah any reason to get momentum back. Don't take another dumb penalty, anything like that. Just play your game, get pucks deep here, see if you can ride it out.
You know, I might not have always been the biggest fan of John Tortorella by any means, but if anyone's heard that speech he gave to Columbus before they played the Lightning, this is a scenario where you don't want to take a step back. You do not want to let Utah get comfortable. Can Overland seal that off? And he does. Overland, no panic there, knows he's beat speed-wise, but he's got plenty of stick to work with. Rossi able to get that one at least past the blue line, so Josephson can hound it down. Now he's going to get it up the ice hot. That was Myers trying to turn with it. Just couldn't quite get there. So definitely going to think that Selly from Williams is going to fire up Utah a little bit. But it's up to the Wildcats to make sure they get even more excited after seeing, you know, arguably, one of the star players for the Wildcats get his first of the season and in such a Brendan Williams style fashion. When you thought about the first goal he might score, that was on the mind. But Utah, they're going to grind away for the next 7 minutes and 50 seconds. They're going to work it down low, back to the point. They're going to force you to defend. They're going to take shots. And the Wildcats are going to have to grind right along with them. Josephson, good job there to dump it in as Swiger gets on his horse. Grealish with, that worked incredibly well, actually. The indecision was more of a little fake out there.
I think he faked out everybody in the rink.
So Sepinen punches that one barely out of the slot, just enough, and now it's Brendan Williams once again. Williams down the far boards, shovels one to the center. Shetland gets it back to the point. Quick shot from Shively with Williams posted out in front, so he knows exactly where to go as that puck comes in from the point. Shetland with a quick shot. That one just goes high on the glove of Grealish. So now the Wildcats with some momentum. 7 minutes left to go in the third period. Lowell able to shove that in front. Lowell scores! Jesse Lowell! What an effort! Brings it out from behind the net. Not the hardest shot in the world, but shovels it past Grealish. And
What an absolute lunch pail style goal from Jesse Lowell.
That is a classic Jesse Lowell goal right there. Just never giving up on it. Gonna outwork everybody out front and then find a way somehow to put it in.
Just pure power and determination. Lowell brings it out to the front, turns it over, but strips it right back. Quick little forehand shot, beats Grealish low. So the Wildcats, when they do score, they're scoring in quick succession. So Jesse Lowell.
An unassisted goal scored by number 19, Kyle Tinscher.
So that was definitely not Kyle Tinscher, because if he scored from the press box, we're going to have a discussion about what is actually happening, but I'm sure he'll get his first eventually when he's in the lineup. But Jesse Lowell, but now Ethan Light trying to breathe some life back into Utah, using his speed and offensive prowess. Josephson goes into the boards. So Light, one of those core guys for Utah. If they're going to start a comeback, it's going to start with him. But 5-3 here for the Wildcats, as Jesse Lowell and Brendan Williams step up and get the Wildcats a 2-goal lead in this game. And now Selman over to Myers. Myers back to Selman. Selman through the legs. Beauty of a move there by Selman. And a great job there from Rossi. So that, not going to say anything about the refs. It's a little bit surprised that Dix did that. You know, you're down by 2. And I was just about to compliment Rossi for how good of a teammate he was, because Selman takes a little bit of a shot.
Yep.
Rossi comes over, you know, basically tells Selman, hey, bud, don't worry about it. And then Dix decides to put a shoulder into someone, but he'll head off to the bench down by 2 goals. Wildcats won't worry about that. And like we said, consistent reffing is good reffing. As long as it stays that way, no problem. Walker, though, unfortunately still in the box, but they'll have a fresh Dylan Walker for about the final 2 minutes of this period. So the Wildcats here with an offensive zone face-off. Up 2 goals in this third period. A great response after what was a little bit of a tough pill to swallow, getting scored on the power play to tie it up. But pure effort and fight back. Williams with a turnover, the blue line scores on the breakaway, and then Jesse Lowell. So now Myers almost turns it over there, but luckily Hodgson able to kind of scramble that one out of the zone. Myers, great turnover there though. Myers with some speed. Myers through the legs, and Myers able to get it back to Selman. He shovels it on Grealish. Myers' hands a bit underrated. You know, he plays such a north-south kind of straight-ahead game, but he can really throw some nice deeks in there now. Utah fighting out to the front of the net. Wildcats take away space, but Utah is able to score and get one back here. So Langenbrunner able to get one back. Utah within 1 with 5:25 left to go. And another goal scored from about 2 feet out from Seppänen. So the Wildcats here really need to lock this game down. Still, at least with a 2-goal cushion, you give yourself a tiny bit of room for error. But every great team with 5 minutes left is going to be able to shut down a game. The Wildcats need to make sure they keep their composure here and keep that puck down in the Utah zone.
Well, that's going to be the challenge for U of A this year in general. It's just they have the firepower to score 5-6 goals a game every night. It's can you keep the other team to 3 or less, you know? And last year we were so effective at doing that. I think a lot of that was goaltending, and then obviously we had some veteran defensemen back there that really shut things down. But that's where the challenge for U of A is going to be at, especially early in the year, is learning how to shut down other teams and take care of things in front of their own net.
And Seppänen, you know, he might have given up 4 tonight, but I really wouldn't fault him on any of those goals. You know, their rebounds out in front where he's trying to fight through 3 or 4 guys in traffic. He's stopped everything he can see. He's made some incredible saves so far tonight.
Yeah, honestly, he's made all the saves that he should, and then honestly, he's made a few too that he probably shouldn't have made. So it's just, I mean, he's played his job, he's done his thing, and certainly could be worse. Utah could have 6 or 7 goals.
So now Jesse Lowell tries to cut back to the middle, can't quite do it. But the Wildcats able to keep possession. 4:54 left to go. Utah decides to knock that one down instead of letting it go for icing. So Music back with it for Utah. Dix runs a little bit of a pick there and takes down a Wildcat player. I do remember Dix last season is troublesome at times.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the style of game that he plays, and he's effective when he is, honestly, part of his game is taking penalties and getting other teams to go to the box with him. I mean, that can be effective. He knows his role. If he can get one of U of A's top players to go to the box, that's a trade-off Utah's going to take every time.
Or even getting under people's skin. It's incredibly effective just how frustrated you can make people. And credit to Dix, he hasn't taken a penalty from that yet. So another stick goes flying into the air. That's the third one of the evening, but Shively with the soft hands to catch it. But Utah's got to be feeling like they've got a real chance to get this game tied up if they just keep playing the way they are in this third. And the Wildcats finally got that offensive breakthrough. Now it's about holding this lead. And you talked about the goaltending. Sepinen, this is his first season as a number one. He's still a relatively, fresh goalie in the ACHA. The Wildcats had that tandem of Bavolsic and Churro for so long. It's almost strange to see someone not named Bavolsic or Churro in the net, but Sepinen's done a great job of stepping up to the challenge. There's a lot of pressure on him. We've talked about the expectations of the roster, and, Sepinen is a single man. There's expectations on him too. But like you said, he saved all the ones he should tonight, probably saved a few that he shouldn't. But Utah is going to keep looking to just beat him with rebounds. So now Shetland with some speed down the far boards. Fisher getting in on the forecheck, letting the Wildcats get some fresh forwards behind him. Now Utah with some space through the middle. Get it across to Ethan Light. But luckily he's worked on there by Lowell, and that's going to be a tripping call right there. Light gets his stick in. Lowell keeps his feet moving, goes down. So the Wildcats with 3:44 left to go will have 2 minutes of that on the power play. A great opportunity here to finish off a game. Just kind of get that confidence that you can close out something. This is their first opportunity of the season for the Wildcats to hold a lead, finish off a game on home ice.
Yeah, it's a huge confidence building opportunity here to maybe pop another one in and win this game, get your first win of the year under the belt, and then also look up the scoreboard and see kind of a big number up there. And hopefully it leads into tomorrow night as well.
Especially with being able to come out of here tonight with a win after losing Hughes and Walker in the box for 10 minutes. But Wildcats here with Walker still in the box. He's getting his helmet back on, though, for the power play. Myers over to Busby. Now Swiger drops it back to Williams. Good movement here on this power play. And great shot there from Williams with Swiger out front. Lowell just tried to drag that back to Williams. Can they work as a tandem behind the net? They do. Busby just couldn't hold it in at the blue line, but 1:25 left to go. And Walker's waiting for play to start.
This is a power play unit that was not put together at the start of this game, but due to injuries and maybe Walker's penalty too, they're put together. And you can see that these 5 guys clearly move it around a little bit. They've got some good chemistry out there. It might be something to keep together.
So Myers working at the point with Overland. Selman swinging up there too. Overland pressured at the point. Utah not able to get it out as that puck hits a stanchion. So now Williams, and he just couldn't quite get his stick on the puck.
I'd also love to see Walker get out of the box here and get an empty net goal. He's a fiery guy, plays with some competitiveness in him. And if he could seal this one off after taking a penalty he probably didn't agree with there, I think we'd see quite a nice celly for an empty net goal.
And Walker, a guy plays with a lot of passion, but obviously he's going to be disappointed to spend so much of this period in the box. And, hopefully it's just a little bit of a lesson of you think you have a certain amount of leeway with the refs at times. You think, but now a 2-on-1 developing for Utah, shorthanded. Utah in. Sepinen has to make a huge save there. Not exactly sure how that breakdown happened, but on the power play, the Wildcats really need to tidy this up. And an absolutely, completely empty Mickle on the back door. If I'm Chad Berman, I'm close to aneurysm right now, but then Ari Rossi comes out and does that, and everything feels just fine. Now Shetland tries to go middle. Malco driving the net. Selman takes a quick shot down on Grealish. Power play is over. So the Wildcats with 1:30 left to go, a 1-goal lead. Need to be able to close this game out. Now Rossi over the blue line, drops it to Malco. Rossi
Luria tried to take a run at him. Luckily, all he lost was a stick and not his head. So now a great turnover there as Williams settles that puck down. Minute and 10 seconds left to go.
Looks like Utah's goalie is getting ready to go to the bench too.
Yeah, Walker's got to be thinking someone blow a whistle. I don't think he wants to finish the game in the box, but if this play doesn't stop until then, that means the Wildcats win. Ziegler, great heads-up play there to just get it in deep, keep the Utah goalie in the net. And goal differential does matter here in the ACHA. Utah able to drag that one through. They look to go middle. Ziegler says no, ties it up. Puck still loose. Ziegler trying to work it through a stick. Will this one make it down? And the world just ain't fair, folks. If there's anyone that deserved the empty netter at the end of this, it was Connor Ziegler. And that one just bobbles wide, but Walker will come out of the box. So 36 seconds left to go in what's been a bit of a nail biter here at the Tucson Arena, with the Wildcats fighting through some adversity, an injury, late goals in the period. Walker in the box for a while. Certainly not the cleanest game on the sheet by any means, but a win would be a win, and getting that first win on home ice and giving these Wildcat fans something to celebrate, especially on family weekend. So important to remind this community of what a quality product we have here at the University of Arizona, and that this team absolutely has aspirations of competing for a national title. This program's been building for the last 7, 8, 9 years since Coach Berman came in. And that next step, you know, Cactus Cup, won, check that. Conference champions, check, have done that. It's now all eyes on the national tournament for the Wildcats.
And I think too, even like the last 3 years, I would say national championship is the expectation. Nobody's happy anymore with just getting to nationals or just winning the Cactus Cup or conference champs, whatever it is. You want to win that last game of the year, and if you don't, you feel like you failed.
And that's certainly a lot of pressure on the program, but that shows it's trending in the right direction when those expectations realistically get there. I mean, obviously every team wants to win a national championship, but we all know that only one team can, and probably only a small handful of teams really have a chance when it comes down to it in the national tournament. And when you're getting yourself into that conversation of the teams vying for it, but let's not look past this game right now. 30 seconds left to go in the period. Net empty for Utah. Wildcats trying to hold on to this lead. 24 seconds left. Great block there.
Ziegler again.
So now Lowell trying to fight through to get into a lane. Ziegler comes out to fight his man Dix. Lowell with a great block there on Dylan Dix. So now Slater with it for Utah. Over to Dix. Lowell pressures him, and another great sliding save. That is your captain, ladies and gentlemen. A superstar in his own right in so many different ways. Lowell is absolutely fired up. Dix and Lowell, we have to do it again tomorrow. They'll get to finish off this conversation. I do love the imagery of Brendan Williams holding back Jesse Lowell. That is one of my new favorite things, but a great win here for the Wildcats as they fight through to get their first win of the season. Jesse Lowell and Brendan Williams with the third period goals. And like I said, not the cleanest game, but it's got to feel good to get that first home win.
Absolutely feels great to get that first win. And honestly, a very good response from this U of A team, especially going through the adversity of losing last week, but then also just the way that this game started with losing Hughes right away and then losing Walker there in the third period for a bit. It was a really gutty win.
So definitely some resilience built here tonight. We'll build on that tomorrow as we bring you Puck Drop again, 7:30 p.m. at the Tucson Arena. Thank you so much for joining in on the stream. If you can, join us live in person. We'd love to see you here. For Sebastian Janik and Josh Lusby, this is Wildcat Hockey.